Hello YouTube and welcome to another Bucket List Gamers mini review. I am Jay and I am joined this time by Aaron, our streaming master, and his dog, as you can hear.
Hello, thanks for having us both. Perfect timing as always.
Maybe he's heard about what game we're looking at because it might interest him as well. We are looking at Moorhuhn VR Blast. Now we think we're saying that right. Neither of us are German, so
No.
we probably butchering the pronunciation. We we did try and find some pronunciation of it in other videos, but everyone was saying it differently or not saying it at all. So we're going with Moorhuhn, and you'll probably be more familiar with it as the chicken shooter game because that's how I know it. I have played it before on, I think it was on the Wii, or it might have been the PlayStation or something like that when you used to get light guns. But it is essentially a game where you shoot chickens in a VR headset this time, and I think this is what VR should be about, in my opinion, because we don't have light guns anymore. Not on most modern TVs. You have to have very specialist equipment now, don't you, to play old light gun games?
Yeah.
And most VR stuff gives me a headache. This didn't, and I really enjoyed it. And I think this is probably, for me, what VR should be all about.
Absolutely. I think VR should be for little experiences, like little contained experiences where it's not a big open game. You can play big open games anywhere else, but where else can you sit in a sort of farm and just shoot chickens all day long?
So you'll be seeing my gameplay footage. I'll admit this is the second lot of gameplay footage I recorded because the first time I recorded it I was absolutely dreadful. And I didn't want that getting out to the world. To be fair, I think the difference was the first time I played it I was sat down. And you can move your vision with the controller if you use one of the little analog sticks, left and right. You can move where you're looking, but obviously it's quite clunky because it does it in chunks. Whereas the second time I played it and stood up, if I just moved my head around, I had a full 360 if I wanted to, of vision, and it improved it completely, and it made it a different game essentially. But yeah, it's so much fun. I love shooter games anyway, like the old Vampire Knights and House of the Dead and all that kind of stuff. Wasted so many hours, Time Crisis in the arcades, all those kinds of things. And I really miss having that experience at home because I do still own some light guns for my PS2, I think it was, and I've got some games for it, but none of my TVs, I don't have any CRT TVs anymore, and they just don't work, do they? I think there's a handful of flat screens that can run them.
Yeah.
And then you can now get modded guns that work with it, but you're looking at a lot of money because I've looked into it. So I think this is the perfect alternative. And it's the perfect little pass and play game as well. So you have a game of it, you can stream it to your TV on a Meta Quest. So you have a game of it while your friends watch, you pass the headset to someone else, they have a go trying to better your score, and you can do that. It also does have like progression in it, so you start off on the farm level, which Aaron mentioned, which you're probably still seeing now. And later in the video, you'll see that I unlock like an Inca level, and I think there's 6 or 8 levels to unlock. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But there's loads of other little collectibles and stuff, isn't there? So you can unlock costumes for the chickens. So I unlocked them where they're wearing little Meta Quests themselves, little VR headsets.
Yeah.
There's cheats you can unlock, but then it stops your progression, so I haven't used any of them yet. You can unlock better weapons, so you start with like a revolver. I've unlocked a hunting rifle, which is slower to reload, but it seems to be a bit more accurate, so I went with that. It's a fun VR game, and I've played a lot of VR games where I wouldn't describe them as fun. I'd describe them as nauseating, and this isn't that. This is a really good one, I think.
Yeah, I think the VR games where you're stood in a singular point, I think helps with the motion sickness as well, because there's no sort of travelling, there's no trying to teleport or deciding if you want to sort of move the analog stick. So you're just stuck at a point, you've got a level presented in front of you, and you can just have an absolute blast killing some chickens and progressing. When you unlock the grenade launcher, I don't know if that's been in the video yet, but I just thought, what is going on here?
Yeah, there's a golden chicken or a few golden chickens in each level, and if you hit them, you unlock like a frenzy mode where you get a better gun. And there's also a little target breaking mini game where you hit like a set piece in the level. So the first level it's a scarecrow, the Inca level it's 2 little totems that appear on top of a monument, and it starts a target practice thing. And if you hit them all, you get a better weapon for a short period of time. And like I think it must be the golden chicken gives you better weapons like miniguns and stuff. But the the target practice gives you like lesser ones. So there's like super soakers, which are constant fire rather than your single bullets. The minigun, once it's powered up, you can just obliterate everything. Like you say, there's a grenade launcher where I think you get 3 grenades, so you want to aim it into a group of chickens to get your maximum out of that. But the other positive thing about the grenade launcher is there's certain chickens that you can only kill in certain situations. So most of them are just flying by, walking around, you can shoot them. There's ones with frying pans that will block anything that you shoot at them, so you have to shoot like a nearby explosive barrel or fire a grenade at them. There's ones that will throw eggs at you, and if they hit you, it obscures your vision, and it looks like you've got egg all over your monitor and for a few seconds. And yeah, I think they've put a lot more effort in than they probably needed to. If it was all just bog standard chickens, it would have still been a full game. But the fact they've put all this enemy variety in, and because there's a lot of little set pieces themed to the levels. I don't know if you notice, like on the Incan one, they're coming down the stream on the boats and stuff, as opposed to just wandering around. In the farm one, there's one that's inside a tractor that's particularly hard to hit because they've only got a little open window to aim for. I don't know if it's in this footage or when it's, because I've been playing it quite a bit since I recorded because I've really enjoyed it. There's on the farm level, you can do a certain combination of things that opens the top of the barn, and something like I think a golden chicken comes out of it, or something worth loads more points. There's purple chickens that ride on the back of cows that obviously go really fast, but they're worth loads more points. So yeah, there's loads to do in it, and I've only unlocked 2 levels, so there's loads more for me to still do.
I was going to ask then, have you replayed same level multiple times? And then is there replayability, because do the chickens always come in the same places, so you can sort of learn a level and increase your score by knowing, right, I've got to look over there, then over here, then over there?
I don't think so. I think it's randomised. I could be wrong, but there's that many popping up.
Yeah,
that even if there is, it's hard to process. But I'm almost certain it's randomised. And because you don't have the full screen in front of you, like there's in the farm level to the left, there's a little chicken coop. And I completely forgot to keep checking it, and it's a really good place to farm points because there's like 3 or 4 keep popping up in it all the time. But I just completely forgot about that, and I was focusing on the harder ones, like the ones flying the sky. And the harder ones you hit are worth more points, and if you get like headshots, I think you get more and stuff. So it is quite an in-depth thing, and I have replayed levels because there's a star rating. So it's 1, 2, 3 stars, and I've only got 2 stars on the farm, and I'm trying to get the 3rd star. But then there's also online leaderboards. I think you'll see at some point in the video I look to the side and there's an online leaderboard, and I think I was like 73rd in the world on the farm level, and I was like, I'd love to get that higher. So it's got a lot of replayability, but I think it's just got that replayability as a party game when you've got your mates around anyway. It's not just the solo player element. There is a lot to do as a solo player, but I think this will really shine when there's loads of you around, you've casted it to a TV, and you're all sat watching each other play it and trying to better each other's scores. And that it's got that, I know we say it so many times, it's got that one more try element to it that a lot of like roguelikes and stuff have, where you do it, and if you don't quite get the score you want, you go, I'll try it again and see if I can do better. You get a better score, and then you go, I wonder if, because I'm on a roll now, I'm going to do better next go, and then you try it again. And the footage that's playing, I might have to chop up a bit so you can see the later bits, because I think it's about 20 odd minutes. I only planned on recording about 10, and I just got into it so much, I ended up recording way more than I was meant to. And then, like I say, later that night, I put it back on and I played it again some more. So it's got that little addictiveness thing in it that just triggers that in your brain to say, come on, let's just try it once more, we can better what we've done already. And it's great. There's, like I say, cheats, power-ups. I'm just reading the little blurb from it's by Neonic Game Studios. We didn't mention that at the beginning, but it's by Neonic Game Studios. It's VR only, obviously. I don't think these games work with a controller.
No.
It's the ones like House of the Dead and stuff sort of do, because there's lots to aim for, like that takes you on secret paths and stuff, isn't there? And the zombies in House of the Dead tend to take up 3/4 of the screen.
3/4 of the screen,
Whereas this, it's very precise aiming. If you were trying to do this on a controller, I think it'd just frustrate you to death. And like it lent itself well to the Wii because of the zapper, and now it lends itself really well to VR. And I think that's a great way for them to go with these games, because it is such a long-lasting series. It's been going as long as I can remember, the Moorhuhn games. and I've
Yeah.
never known how to pronounce it all these years, and I still probably don't. But this, for me, is the most fun one because it feels like there feels like there's weight to the gun. I know that sounds stupid when you're just holding a controller, like a meta controller, but when
Yeah.
you fire it, it feels like there is actually weight to it, and you can. It's not just like a little pew 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 bullet thing that's hitting the chickens. You feel like you can do some serious damage with that handgun and the rifle and stuff. And I want to play it more. As we're talking about it now, I want to play on it a bit more. So hopefully people are enjoying the gameplay that's playing and they can see what it's all about. I'm not actually sure when it's out because I've not been. I mean, it says 13th of February, but it didn't look like it was out last time I checked. So I don't know if there's been a little bit of a delay or whether
I think
it's.
it's out now. There's an introductory offer on at the minute, 10% off, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
£11.69 at the minute. You're down from £12.99. So I think it's just come out very recently.
So maybe it was I checked after the 13th and then it's come out a little bit later.
Yeah.
But there you go then, available now. Go and check it out. Neonic Game Studios very kindly provided a key for us to try it out. But it is one that I would have absolutely no issue spending 12 quid on. I think you're going to get 12 quid's worth of fun out of this in the first few hours, I would say. And then from then on, you win in. I'm going to bring it around to your house at some point and we can have a little chicken shoot off.
Chicken shoot off. Chicken shoot out.
Let's have a chicken shootout night. We'll get a KFC. We'll
Yeah.
play Moorhuhn and see who can get the better score. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. Go and check it out on Meta or Steam. I think it's on both libraries at the minute.
Yep.
And yeah, really, really fun, good utilization of VR, I think is the takeaway from this episode.
It looks like a lot of the developers have put a lot of time and effort into actually making it fun in VR, which really shows through in your gameplay and just how you're describing it. And I think that's so important for a VR game that it's not just a cheap and cheerful, I will just stick it in VR because it's cool. They've actually put effort into making it a good VR game.
And they've actually updated it twice since I was given the key to play it to make improvements, and you can tell the accuracy. It's still not 100%. There are times when you're like, that should have 100% hit that chicken, and it hasn't done.
Yeah.
But it happens infrequently enough that it doesn't become like a real bother. And that's something that they have improved twice already, I think. So I think it's one that they're going to keep trying to improve as well. So yeah, go out, support this game. I know it's a big publisher, it's a long-running series, and it really does deserve 12 of your English pounds because it is a very fun game. But until next time, I will say that is goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.